Hey everyone, welcome to Mindful Mindsets, and this week's mindful activity is about choices. So choices are actually quite interesting because on the one hand, we love having choices, we love having options. On the other hand, we hate making decisions. So this week, we're going to mindfully make trivial decisions so that we can practice making decisions and not be paralyzed by choice. So personally meaningful choices are things we like. We hate making trivial or irrelevant choices. In addition, we especially hate open-ended choices. So if I give you a choice of this or that, you're much more likely to enjoy that choice rather than if I say, where do you want to go to dinner? Your response to that is very likely going to be, I don't know, where do you want to go, right? So we hate making open-ended choices. We hate making choices that impact other people. So this week we're going to practice making choices and realize that we actually make far more decisions than we realize. So this week, just take notice of all of the decisions you make. And I think the easiest way to do this is to think about what the first thing you eat every day is. Now, if you're like me, you may eat exactly the same thing every day. And so this week, try to vary it just a little bit, maybe in very subtle ways, or do something completely different. Eat something totally different and totally new that you haven't eaten in a while. And the interesting thing about this, when Ellen Langer, who is the mother of mindfulness, did a study and asked participants to list the amount of choices that they had for breakfast, and they were paid by the choice, they actually reported far less choices than they actually had. So they were paid per choice, so it was in their interest to list as many decisions as they made as possible, but usually they just listed decisions as, well, I had the choice between a Pop-Tart or cereal, and I chose cereal. Or maybe they said, well, I had a choice between a Pop-Tart, toast, and cereal, and I chose toast. But what they didn't do was, well, I had the choice between drinking milk or orange juice. I had the choice between having cereal and toast, or cereal and a Pop-Tart, or cereal with milk, or cereal and drinking orange juice, or a toast and drinking orange juice, or a Pop-Tart and drinking orange juice. I could toast the Pop-Tart or not. I could add milk to the cereal or not. I could add the milk first and then add the cereal. I could add the cereal and then add milk, etc. So we actually make far more decisions automatically than we ever would realize. And by taking notice of these decisions, I think it will empower us and make us realize that we can be decisive when we want to. And also take notice that most of the decisions we agonize over are what I call trivial decisions. Now, you may be surprised to hear that. You may say, well, no, I agonize over very important decisions. They are important aspects of our lives, but often the decision itself is not important. For example, right now, you are making the decision whether or not to break your window or not. And of course, you're deciding not to. That is an important decision. But what we agonize over are decisions like, should I go to Harvard or Yale, if you're lucky? And those decisions we agonize over, but actually it's probably a relatively trivial decision. And the reason it's trivial is because both are great options. They're very equivalent options. And so those are the decisions we agonize over when really the decision itself is not that important. And when we can realize that we can make decisions and that we don't have to agonize over them, it will empower us and make us more mindful and make us more likely to make decisions that benefit us rather than being paralyzed by decision when we have those open-ended decisions such as, what am I going to do today? Where do you want to go to dinner? So write down the first thing you eat every day and try to make a mindful decision about it. Even better, if somebody asks you, where do you want to go to dinner today? Give them an answer. Say, I want to go here, and see what happens, because that will break the pattern, and anytime we can break the pattern, it will make us more mindful. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.